Hey everybody, just want to say that we're missing everybody since we're not able to have Sunday school because of the virus and everything that's going around, and just hope that everybody is doing everything you need to do in order to stay safe and stay healthy. In fact, Daniel even taught us a little bit about being healthy, whether we like it or not. He did. So, but I want to make sure that everybody is doing what you need to do to stay healthy, washing your hands, using your hand sanitizer. Don't touch your face, don't pick your nose or any of that stuff. Just make sure that you're doing what you need to do in order to stay healthy. And your mom and dad will help you take care of that as well. Alright, so if you remember, we talked about Daniel and his buddies and being in that country. Now, what was that country called? I can't remember. Oh, I think it starts with a B. Oh yeah, Babylon, that's right. Babylon. They were in Babylon. Why were they in Babylon? Oh yeah, they were slaves, that's right. Okay, so they were slaves in Babylon, and the king called them in and said, okay, I want all of the young men out of the captured people, I want them to have my diet. And so they came in and they told Daniel and his friends, and a lot of the guys, they said, yeah, okay, no problem, we'll eat your diet. But Daniel and his friends, they made up their minds that they were going to do something. What was it they were going to do? Oh yeah, that's right, they were not going to eat the king's diet. Why? Because in order to do so, they would have to violate God's commands, right? They would have to eat that stuff that God told them not to eat. Why did they decide to do that right then? Was that just sort of, oh yeah, no, we don't think we're going to do this? Or had they decided that a long time ago? The thing to keep in mind, they had decided it a long time ago. Exactly. Okay. So Daniel and his friends, they're in captivity. And if you remember, we talked about Jeremiah, the prophet, told the Israelites that they were going to be in Babylon for how many years? Was it 5 years? No, it was more than that. How many years was it? Oh, I know, it was 15 years, right? No. How many was it? 70 years, that's right. What else did he tell them to do while they were in captivity for 70 years? Told them to make sure that they built houses and they got married and they had kids and all that good stuff, because God wanted the people to be strong when they came back, not weak and just a few of them. He wanted them to be strong and lots of them. And the prophet Isaiah had said that the king Cyrus would be the one who would send them back. So, we got Daniel and his buddies. They're in Babylon. And they're kind of waiting through that 70 years. And let's see, Daniel and his buddies, the first thing they decided they were going to do, they were going to eat vegetables and water. We talked about that a little bit. The other thing, the prophet Jeremiah also told the Israelites one other thing that was pretty important. And that's what we're going to look at today, okay? It's in parents, if you're paying attention and want to read it to your kids, it's Jeremiah 31 verses 33 through 34. And I'm gonna read a little extra. I'm going to start with verse 31 and kick in a little extra. Jeremiah said, "Look, the days are coming," this is the Lord's declaration, "when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. This one will not be like the covenant I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant that they broke even though I had chosen them." The Lord's declaration. And I'm going to skip ahead up to verse 33. "Instead, this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days," the Lord's declaration. "I will place my law within them and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will one teach his neighbor, saying, 'Know the Lord,' for they will all know me, from the least to the greatest of them," the Lord's declaration. "For I will forgive their wrongdoing and never again remember their sin." First thing I want to ask, did he say the word "if"? in there anywhere. No. So if he didn't say the word if, what does that mean? That means it's a promise. That means it's going to happen. Do the Israelites have to do anything for it? No. It's going to happen. God is going to do it. There's no he's not going to change his mind. Okay? Now then, did he do it? Has he kept this promise, or is it still outstanding? He's kept it. Okay? For the most part, he's kept it. All right? The book of Hebrews tells us that. It's Hebrews chapter 9, verses 11 and 12. And I know I should have marked it. I never do. Y'all know that. Now the Messiah has appeared, high priest of the good things that have come, in the greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is, not of this creation, I'm sorry. He entered the Holy of Holies once for all, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood. And you remember we talked about how one time a year the high priest would go into the Holy of Holies and he would be slinging blood everywhere, and if he didn't sling enough blood he would die and all that good stuff. Y'all remember we talked about that, right? Okay. All right. What this is saying, especially in verse 12, says he entered the Holy of Holies once and for all, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood. Jesus dying on Calvary, when he shed his blood on Calvary, that was all the blood that was needed. In fact, all the the blood of the sheep and the blood of the goats that the high priest spread all over the Holy of Holies, that was just a symbol. What mattered, all that blood meant nothing. What mattered was Jesus' blood on the cross at Calvary. And that is what makes this new covenant thing. Okay? Can we do anything? I want to back that question up a minute. How do we get it? We have to accept it, right? Okay? And that's what we do when we get saved. Is we accept his sacrifice. We accept his blood as being enough to pay for our sins. After we accept it, can we lose it? Can we do anything to make God not love us? And we've already talked about that a lot. No, we can't. Just like you can't do anything to make your mom or your dad not love you anymore, you also cannot make God not love you anymore. Okay? All right. So, they call this a new covenant. What does that mean? That means, that comes from this. The old covenant, okay, is based on the Ten Commandments. The new covenant is based on Jesus dying on the cross. And if that doesn't make sense, ask your mom and dad. And if moms and dads, if it doesn't make sense to y'all, get in touch with us. Get our emails, our phone number, whatever. Get in touch with us. We'll get you an answer. We'll get it explained. Okay? All right. Any questions on that? All right. Sounds good.